Time for the translations for Wheelock chapter 33. Start with number 3. Si divitiae et invidia nos ab amore et honore usque prohibent, divitesne vere sumus. All right. So we've obviously got two clauses. We've got an if-then. So we've got our protasis and we've got our apodosis. So let's take the protasis first. Where's our verb? It's prohibent or prohibent. Let's get our that should be prohibent. That I is short in that verb. So prohibent. That's just present, indicative, active. Third plural. So prohibit or keep away from. And if we got a present indicative in our protasis, that tells us what? We've got a present factual. Present indicative and a present indicative. So this is a present, so if they are prohibiting, and now we need to find who's the they. Do we have a nominative to be the subject? We do. We have two of them, in fact. Divitiae et invidia. Divitiae is riches, and invidia is jealousy. Two things that often go together. So now we've got if riches and jealousy are keeping or are prohibiting. But what are they prohibiting? We need to look for an accusative to be the direct object. And we have one here, nos. If riches and jealousy are prohibiting us, ab amore et honore, from love and honor. So I think we're going to, instead of prohibiting, we're going to do keeping. If riches and jealousy are keeping us away from love, amore, and honor, and usque means, so far. If riches and jealousy are thus far keeping us away from love and honor, now our apodosis, very straightforward. The verb is just sumus, and again, that's present indicative active. And then in English, again, we often do add the word then. Then are we, because it's a question, then are we vere truly divites? Are we truly rich? And the ne just tells you that we're dealing with a question. So the divites is the noun. Then are we truly rich? All right. Do 7. Leges ita scribantur ut divites et plebs, etiam pauper cineasa sint pares. So we've got an ut clause. So that tells me that's going to be a dependent clause, and sure enough, I can recognize that very clearly, sent as a subjunctive verb. So we'll save that ut clause, and so our first clause is just 3 words, leges ita scribantur. The verb is scribantur, and that's imperfect indicative passive. Passive, third plural. So, and that's they were written. What's the nominative? Leges. So the laws were written, and ita means thus. The laws were thus written, or the laws were so written in such a way, ut, that, and now this part that's set off by m dashes, that's, we can just set that aside. So we've got ut divites et plebs sint pares. So our verb is sent. So we'll start over for our second clause. What's the verb? Sent. That's third plural subjunctive active, present tense. In order that they might be We're going to say might because, again, these are secondary tenses, right? Our rules for how we translate secondary tenses. The laws were thus written that they might be. That they might be what? Or who's they? Do I have a nominative in my second clause? I do. Divites et plebs. That's my nominative. In order that rich folks and poor folks, divites et plebs. The laws were thus written that rich folks and poor folks might be pares, might be equals. And now I can add my etiam pauper sine assa. Even a pauper, we obviously took that word right over from Latin, even a pauper sine without a donkey. Even a man so poor he doesn't have a beast of burden to help him on the farm. So the laws were thus written that rich folks and poor folks might be equals, even a pauper without a donkey. So there are two translation exercises for chapter 33.